All right. I am so excited to be here with you today, Kelly. How are you?
I am fabulous. How about you?
Doing good. Doing good. This will perk up my whole day. So
Well,
great,
good.
great way to start the busy morning. Yeah. So I'm excited to do this with you and to have you on because I know you're such an inspiration to all of us. We get to see you and we get to see what you're doing all the time and the growth, but outside agents don't get to see that. And so I know that you have made a transition from retail to working with investors. Was that 3 years ago or four?
It was actually before that.
Okay.
It was back when I was probably a residential agent for, I would say probably about 10 years. And then um, when we began investing ourselves, I saw that there was a hole that needed to be filled. And so I began to transition. And then about 3 to 4 years, when I hooked up with Jennifer and you, I totally stopped doing residential completely.
Gotcha. So what was, when you were working with retail buyers, what was a typical day in the life of Kelly like?
Working with retail buyers is it's rewarding. So you get to help somebody, buy their first house, move on, whatever catastrophic event or wonderful event is happening in their life, you get to help them with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of work and it really is emotionally draining. So, residential tends to be an emotional buy. So everything is, I got to have this house, or if you bring an offer, it's like, oh my God, they lowballed me. My life is not worth living or whatever. And so it's very different. It's very emotional. And so working with commercial buyers, multifamily buyers is so different. Investors, everything is about the numbers, and that allows you to relax. It's not, their stress doesn't go on you. So you're able to focus in and do a lot more because you're not calming them down, reselling them. Because residential, you sell them once, and 9 times out of 10, within a week, you have to stop and you have to resell them again. Even though they're in a contract, you still have to keep them in the saddle.
And remind them why they were so excited about buying that
Excited in the
house.
first place, and how they're not going to be bankrupt if they buy this, blah blah blah. And but investors, it's not like that. So once they see the numbers, once they commit, once they're in, it takes a hand grenade to blow them out of a deal. And so it's like you don't really have to worry about it. You just have to do, it's like a standard operating procedure that you do. There's an SOP. And
Mhm.
so if you have that SOP, you literally, like where I would work with, I don't know, maybe 5 buyers, 5 residential buyers a week or a month before, and it would take all my time. The other thing is that you have no nights, no week. I mean, when you work with residential and you have a buyer's agency agreement with them, it's a two-edged sword. So one, they're committing to you, but you're committing to them, which means that you have to be available because they can't go to anybody else, right? But
Right.
when
So
you have a
your typical day was morning to night in real
night,
estate?
weekends,
Mhm.
evenings, it's like you'd be sitting down to eat. I mean, no kidding. You would sit down to eat Christmas dinner and you'd get a call and they're go, well, we're done and we're kind of bored and we'd like to see this house. And it's like, it's difficult because you really are bound to them and you
Right.
really have to rearrange. The cool thing about investors is that although we don't work with investors unless we have a buyer's agency agreement as well. But the thing is that it's so different. I don't, even though I'm 2 hours different, the investors are actually like cognizant of that time. I don't get calls on the weekend. After 7 o'clock, my phone doesn't ring anymore. I actually can have family time. I can go on vacation because I personally don't have to show
What a
anymore.
life
I mean,
change.
it has freed my life up substantially.
Yeah, that's awesome. How does your family feel about that big switch? Has it made a huge difference in your
It
family?
has.
Yeah.
It has. I mean, prior to opening up Blue Cord Realty, I was actually able to travel and do stuff. That will happen again, but we went ahead and opened a full service thing with property management and all of that. And so I'm kind of stuck in that we can't be gone, 3 weeks. But theoretically, okay, if I hadn't have done all of this other stuff, I could be in Italy lying on the beach in Capri where you guys snagged me in the first place. But I literally could be there and I could be writing offers for investors as long as I had some boots on the ground here. So if I had an assistant that could, set up the stuff for the inspections and all of that, I could be selling the investor, having a margarita, and calling back, and they could do everything. And I don't have to be here at all to do that. It is a absolutely mobile, let me go to Italy kind of job.
And isn't that awesome that because you've been with us for so long and you are obviously the agent that sends the most deals, works with most of our investors, that you are now able to work with Jennifer and help coach and teach investors exactly what you just said, how to benefit from that kind of life, how to transition from retail and maybe they don't even have to stop working with retail in the beginning, but how to become an investor agent.
Mm-hmm. So and it's been amazing. It really has. I'm so pleased. And I can't say enough about Agent Invest. And that, when we teach these, we want everybody to go get their own investors, to do meetups, to do all of that. And you should. But I do have to tell you this, is that Agent Invest is so comprehensive, and you guys have expanded in the, 4 years or 3 years, however long it's been since I've been with you, that primarily, I would say probably 90% of all of my deals come from Agent Invest and the investors. And so, but again, you don't want to put, you want to have your own base, that's really important, but I can't, everything from transitioning from learning how to do a contract and doing meetups to getting you to how to file your taxes and how to be rich. It literally comes from the Investor Agent, Agent Invest. And all you need is that. That's it in order to be able to change your life. And I know we have all these questions, but I do want to tell you my life has changed in that, I had a company before. It was really stressful. I have a huge company now that we opened a year ago. And because of working with investors, I now am the managing broker. We have 40 agents, 900 doors. We're opening an Airbnb thing. We have a holding company. Yeah. And so because of learning, I did investors before, but I wasn't as good as I am now. I could always close, but I wasn't as good as I am now. And so because of learning from you guys how to separate everything and how to work smarter, not harder, I now am able to run multiple companies and still do $80 million a year in sales. What?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was going to lead into that. So now you not only have this amazing investor business, but you have built an empire with your property management company built into it, which you used to do as well. But now you've rebuilt that up, and you have, like you said, 900 doors that you're managing for property, and just a multifaceted business because of how you've been able to free up your time from not working with retail and focusing on investors.
Yeah. It's amazing. Back in when I had the other company before we retired, at our highest point, we had 2,100 doors. So this company has been in business for, I don't know, not even 18 months. And we're at, 18 months, like when you guys drug me back off that beach and said, you need to open a property management company, from that time until today, we're almost halfway to where I was at the peak of property management. And it's allowed, and just so that, and I know people think that there's an easy way. We talked about this earlier, and it's not easy. You have to work hard. But I can tell you this, is that you guys have taught me how to be where I can, my company is debt free, right? And so it's so the money that I've made, it's I was able to, brick and mortar and do everything and have a debt free situation here. And so, and it took 3 years. Can you imagine how, if you worked really hard for 3 years and you followed the Agent Invest way, can you imagine what you could do with your life? You're winning your own lottery. You're making your own lottery tickets.
And the really cool thing about the Investor Academy Bootcamp, Agent Investor Academy Bootcamp, is that the agents are being taught by Jennifer, who has had that multi-million-dollar investor business herself, and now, like you, has multiple businesses and is traveling the world. So the agents are being taught by people that have done it, that have walked in those steps. And the thing I love about the Academy is that Jennifer has put together the simple 3-step framework with the coaching that you and her offer every week to the agents, so that it's simple. And then with the workbook and the videos, it's practical steps on how to get there. And by the end of 30 days, these agents can be very successful. I mean, we've had some like Mike, right? That have
Mike is the man, Maria.
Oh my gosh, both of them, right? They've come out of the Academy, and holy cow, the amount of commissions that they've received working with investors is amazing. They're on their way to be like you. So that's awesome.
But better, because they're younger and not as tired. But I do want to say this, is that, the thing is that we want everybody to join the Agent, the Agent Invest Academy. But I do want to tell you this, is that, it's a commitment. And so you have to do what you're told to do in order to be, it's kind of like you buy a lottery ticket, right? And so what if you buy a lottery ticket and you didn't pick any numbers? Okay. And so you have a blank piece of paper, right? And so, but what if you got a lottery ticket and they gave you the winning numbers, and they said, all you have to do is drive in your car to, I don't know, I live in Tennessee, so you must drive to California. It's going to take you a minute or two to get there, but you've got the winning lottery ticket, and all you have to do is get from point A to point B to be a millionaire. That's what this is. That is exactly what this is. And so if you will take what is told and you implement it, and everybody's available to you all the time. I mean, you can reach out to somebody, and if you're having troubles, if you don't understand why or whatever, but I'm telling you that it really changed my life. It really has.
That's amazing. So what would you say to an agent that is currently a retail agent working a lot of hours, and they're in the back of their mind, they're thinking, I'd really like to work with investors, but hesitant because they don't know where to start or what changes to make so that they can begin that process?
So I would say that the best thing to do is that to start. And so you can sign up for the Agent Invest Academy, and that's going to help you. It's going to give you the lingo. It's going to give you what to do, how to get into investor groups, how to do all of that, and then take action. So you're never going to learn if you don't do. And so if you have teachers that are saying, this is how you do this math problem, if you never do the math problem, you're never going to get it. So you got the teachers there already, and all they have to do is take action, sign up, and then start doing the program. And it will work. I promise you. Real quick. So I have a Noah, and Noah is 22 years old, 22. And of course, his father was an investor, so he's not new to investing, but he was new to life. So at 22, Lord, right? And so it's like he's never owned a home. And so he has not really life experience, although he's very mature for his age, and he understands investing. But Noah has been with me, I don't know, maybe 6 months, 8 months. He has not reached, and so he has done, God, I want to say 30 million on his own.
That's amazing.
And so he followed with me the Agent, Academy thing. And so whether you're 22 or whether you're 62, it doesn't matter. And so it's just about taking action and like implementing what you're told and then going out and doing it. And I can tell you, I mean, this is going to change Noah's life. I mean, he is going to be, I mean, I can't even imagine when he's 42, the amount of business that this man is going to do. I mean, imagine
That's
22 years of
exciting.
investing. He's going to
That's
set
amazing.
Tennessee on fire.
That's exciting. I think I thought it was a year because of everything that he's done. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no.
Yeah, he definitely jumped in and dove in head first and took the bull by the horn and has gone with it with some great mentorship and a leader to help
Well,
him.
and he was with you guys too. So, I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, and that will tell you, I mean, Mike Swinson was another one that came in and he was amazing. And so, you know, he implemented everything. Maria's a fireball. And so everything, she's like a sponge. It's like, give me more, give me more. And
Right.
so you just have to take it and run with it and be that person.
I mean, when you have two amazing mentors like you and Jennifer, I agree. I think sometimes that can be one of the things that we pass up in life is the opportunity to latch on to mentors like you and Jennifer who have done and are literally walking those steps and that are as successful as you are to teach us, to guide us and then listen to everything that is being taught. And then, like you said, go take action. I think that's the hardest thing for people is the action part. The fear sets in, the self-limitation set in. And like you said, I love that you brought that up. When somebody is in the Investor Academy, they have the private Facebook group. So they get to communicate and network with other agents all over the United States who can also help them. Like you said, it's not just you and Jennifer, it's that ability to tap into agents in other markets and agents that are maybe in a different space than they are and have already taken some of those steps who can offer some additional feedback. I think it's amazing. I love you working with us and what you bring to the new agents. As well, of course, as the investors. All of the investors love you, and you bring that amazing, caring. You carried it over from retail to investor, where it's clear, even to an investor, that you're not just interested in selling them a property, and it's not just numbers to you. It's all about you care about them, and you invest in their careers. Yes, you build that relationship with them. So I think that that's huge and a key component that you bring to the Investor Academy and working with agents as well. What advice would you give to an agent that asked you this question? Kelly, why is working with investors, I mean, you kind of answered it, but why should I do that as opposed to working with retail clients when I do get so much satisfaction in seeing somebody happy with buying their home or then maybe leveling up and buying their dream home? What is it working with investors that can give me, that can also mimic that kind of feeling?
Well, you know, remember this is that when you sell someone a house, you know, I know in different areas, people stay in a house longer than here. So here, somebody buys a house and the average time of them being in a house is 2 years. Wow. So you're making a limited impact on their life. You know, I feel like I'm making people rich. And it's going to affect not only their generation, but their children and their grandchildren. And so, you know, although I can't be president, right? Someday I hope that, you know, some of these people will go, God, you know, we met Kelly in Clarksville and, you know, you're going to college for, you know, we're paying for your college because I bought this quad in Clarksville 30 years ago. And I helped them do that. And so, you know, I do get invested in the investors' lives. I do have relationships with the investors because in order to help them buy and to help them find out what their goals are, then, you know, you have to get invested. I mean, I want to know their dogs and their kids and what their goals are and their changing goals and if they're moving, because then we can revamp what we're doing. The thing about residential is you're one and done. Okay, so you always have to go find another buyer for a house, right? So they buy one house and you are done with them for 2 to 7 years, right? And so you're off to the next one. We average selling an investor, okay, properties, maybe, maybe more.
Mhm.
And so it's like, so it's not one and done. It's like, and so I'm going to joke. So Jesse is one of our investors, and he says I'm his crack dealer. And so it's like, so he says, you know, he'll go for a little bit of time, and then suddenly he'll be like, I got to buy something else. I got to buy something else. And he'll start, you know, like bugging me,
I love that.
going, you know, I need it. And then we'll get it. And then he's happy for a little bit. And, you know, he can watch, you know, a tenant move in and watch the, you know, cause we do burrs too. So we help them do the burr stuff, and then they watch the tenant move in, and then they're satisfied for a little bit. And it's like, I want to do it again. And so
Becomes
that's
addictive.
what's different. Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Reoccurring business, and investors are tend to be in groups with other investors or friends with other investors. So that brings extra clientele that you don't have to go out and find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's
gosh,
awesome.
Kelly, yeah, I've been excited to have this, and I've been waiting for this Facebook Live with you so that you can share your success and your story and inspiration to everybody. Do you have anything you want to add? I know our summit's coming up, and that's another exciting event that we put on every year, where we bring agents from all over the United States that are very successful to come to that. So I do want to throw that plug in there really quick too. If anybody's interested, it's free 2-day summit. Make sure to, it looks like we have the link there in the details. Make sure to get up there and join that summit, because there are the real go-getters of real estate coming to talk and share about how they've achieved success. And I know someday, Kelly, you're going to be in that summit.
Well, I'm happy being down here, but I do want to tell you this, is that the summit stuff, you know, my day of, and I do have to tell you, my day of investing is over. So I did that. I'm on the, you know, the other end of it now. And so by, you know, at one point we owned about 850 doors. It allowed us to, you know, be debt free. It allowed us to travel. It allowed us to have a really great life. All of our kids, you know, at least have a bachelor's to a doctorate. I mean, it allowed our kids a start, right? And so, but I do want to say this, is that, you know, the Investor Agent Summit is free. And so it's really sign up and see what it's about. And I do want, you know, one of the cool things is like, and I'm not going to bash, but, you know, Bigger Pockets has all these big, huge names, right? And it's like, for me, it's like, I could never be that. Maybe I could, but I could never be that person, right? But the thing about this is that it is normal people like me and you. It is normal people that have made a difference in other people's lives and are making more money than we ever thought possible. And so I want you to know that, you know, this is for everybody, and you ought to check it out to see. And the people that you have speak are people that actually did it, and they succeeded, and just like them.
Yeah, I'm excited for the summit, and the fact that we do it 2 times a year is exciting too.
I know, it's exciting.
And the Investor Agent Academy, because it's evergreen, is exciting too. So somebody can come in at any time and join the academy and start getting coached by you and Jennifer. I can't personally think of 2 better coaches to be coached by. But Kelly, I want to thank you so much for everything you do for the investors that we work with, and our company, Agents Invest. We absolutely love the relationship we have with you, and everything you do. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule, because I know you're very busy, to do this with me.
So, well, thank you for inviting me. And again, I want to thank you for trusting in me, and I'm flattered through all of this.
Awesome. All right.
So I'll see everybody that's watching. I'll see you at the academy.
Yes. All right. Take care, Kelly.
All right. Bye.